West Virginia is no stranger to substance abuse. The state has the fourth most drug use and addiction rates in the country. Over 1,000 people die from drug overdose each year, and even more from complications related to substance abuse. So what can be done to help? Addiction is not an isolated issue and can have a large impact of the health and well-being of those living here. Understanding addictions, its root causes, and how substance abuse can be a major mental and public health issue will provide awareness on the topic that can be used to implement positive change. People often get trapped in a cycle of abuse, depression, and poverty. Each tragedy feeds the prevalence of the other, making this cycle extremely difficult to overcome. Social factors such as social inequality and education can lead to poverty. Social inequality refers to the distribution of income, social services, and opportunities. These inequalities contribute to economic disparity and poverty. Many people see poverty and addiction as a personal problem, but it is a societal issue. Those with lower incomes are more susceptible to stress, hopelessness, decreased self-esteem, decreased social support, and decreased healthcare access. These are all addiction risk factors. Decreased social support comes from people constantly putting energy into making ends meet and have little time to dedicate to social interaction. Poverty can have a great source of stress, and the constant battle of rising above the poverty line can lead to hopelessness. Lack of access to affordable health care can aggravate the situation further. Those struggling with depression, stress, or hopelessness may not be able to get the care they need and may turn to drugs or alcohol as an answer. Rehab is typically not affordable if you don't have insurance, which further exposes the vulnerability of the impoverished population. These feelings leave one vulnerable to the temptation of substance abuse as a mental escape from your troubles. And addiction contributes to poverty, so those who are predisposed to addiction through genetic factors or through their social situation may end up feeding into this cycle. Many people see addiction and poverty as a personal problem and often lack sympathy for people who are struggling. Awareness of addiction and how addiction relates to society and health is important. Comprehension on this topic can lead to the implementation of public health initiatives such as the Clean Needle Exchange. Clean needle exchanges have become controversial because it is thought to be enabling. However, this can address issues like prevent transmission of diseases such as HIV and hepatitis C. Access to clean needles does not increase drug use, but rather provides an alternative that keeps the public safe. The CDC says it has been shown that people who use the exchange services are 5 times more likely to enter treatment programs for their addiction. West Virginia has cut the number of exchanges in half since 2019 and placed restrictions on how these programs will be run. This goes against the advice set in place by the U.S. Office of National Drug Control Policy. They suggest that distribution should amount to a quantity that abolishes the need to reuse or share needles. This is a predominant issue for West Virginians as cases of HIV and hepatitis have increased significantly since 2019. By advocating for clean needle exchanges, you are being an advocate of the state, of public health safety, and of the rehabilitation of people struggling with substance abuse. Being knowledgeable of why these programs are put in place and are important can help address these issues facing West Virginia. The struggle with substance abuse is not one to be ignored. It is not a personal issue and should be a community effort. Poverty and depression can make people vulnerable to turning to drugs or alcohol. Recognizing the root of the issue can lead us to make decisions that contribute to supporting and harm reduction.